Amos. We're here in Mish Cafe, and I am here with me is the best-selling author, international speaker, my Ninong Randell Tiongson.
Hello. Welcome to all the viewers.
Viewers, yes. So we're here to talk about parenting and their journey, of course. Because again, I started this platform to learn more about being a mom in every stage of our kids' lives. Well, behind the scenes, we were already talking about parenting, and recently I shared with Ninong that I left work to be with my firstborn. A while ago, he was also sharing with me his experience, a similar one, and it struck me. Actually, medyo naiiyak ako dun sa car nung pinakwento niya sa akin yung experience niya because dun sa journey niya, medyo I am on that stage right now na I'm asking the Lord na, Lord, I already followed what you told me, but I feel like nothing's happened. And when he shared with me his journey, he followed God, and then after 2 years, the Lord rewarded him. Na-affirm ako dun sa decision na ginawa namin mag-asawa. But anyway, again, we're talking about parenting here.
Alright, sige.
So,
I hope I can answer your questions. Hello, Kayla.
You have a 20,
28, 26, 17, 14.
oh my goodness.
4 kids. Girl, boy, boy.
So, how is that experience when they were growing up, and how were you able to juggle being a dad and being a husband?
Okay. Well, it's a little bit different because we married young. I was a father at a young age. I think I was 24 when I had my first child. But I think that's what I tell people, nobody can be ready. This is an experience and a journey that you have to go through. And then along the way, I think the Lord's gonna get you ready and more. So parenting is not something you can study. It's something you need to experience. And I guess that's where the journey is, the fun is. And of course, we make mistakes. And if I was to do parenting over again, will I do it differently? Not sure, because eventually you realize that my presence as a father and my wife was enough for us to raise our kids to be kids who are going to be proud of.
For younger couples like us and
like what we were before.
yes,
You were much younger than you when we started our
yes,
kids.
that's correct.
Much younger.
That's correct.
Much younger, less stable financially. I think it's right. I tell Teresa, everybody has this perfect notion that I have to have so much money, I have to have a house and everything before I get married. I think for me that's a misnomer. Preparation for marriage is not just financial.
Right.
It's also emotional. It's also spiritual. These things. I think those things are more important than anything else. Kasi as a couple naman, you will learn, you will grow, you will, all these things together.
Do you recommend for couples to wait after marriage a bit to have a kid?
I didn't have that. I didn't go through that because we had kids kagad. No? I didn't know. That's a common notion that a lot of people are espousing. As to where it came from, I don't know where that came from. But here's what I know. Everybody who now has kids will tell you otherwise. Like you.
Yeah.
If you meet a young couple, you might not want to say that to them anymore.
Yes.
Yan, so,
I realized that
yeah.
when we had.
Kasi alam mo you will always have time with your spouse naman eh. Even with the kids, there's date times, when it's a little bit older, na pwede na siya iwanan, may pag-iwanan ka, you can travel together, you go through those. This is a season na, parang you don't have that much time with each other, but kayo as a couple, you will find time for that also. So, yun yung scenario. Like, uwi ka, babakasyon ka. Day one mo sa lola yan. Oh, then you to take, do a weekend getaway. You can always find those things. Then later on, when they get older, the more you can find these things and really enjoy. It's what is important is what you do after, not just what you do before.
That's true. How were you able to
Yes.
to do your sabi niyo because you were less financially stable.
Yeah.
How did you go about it? Kasi syempre dalawa na yung kids niyo.
Yeah, kasi we had 2 year apart lang. Our financially unstable in the sense sometimes I have a lot of money, sometimes I don't have money. That was a problem. That was a problem that I went through. It's a struggle. If I were to do it, siguro I'd fix that one. Para less problem. Pero God's grace is sufficient. We were able to surpass that. Mahirap. There were challenges. I got into a debt problem and all these things. But wala, that's part of growing up. That's part of learning. Again, at the end of the day, that experience made us wiser. From that, then there's a good takeaway. May natutunan ako eh. Yeah. Let's get out of that perfect. That's a problem with a lot of people, young couples. They have this perfect scenario, fairy tale wedding, fairy tale relationship, fairy tale parenting. That's not true. There's no such thing.
Right. But it's a very good point to highlight because a lot of couples, siguro our generation lalo, we think of having a perfect relationship, having a perfect family life, having a perfect, we're financially fit right away, and of course,
Perfect. That
exactly.
perfect Instagram, Facebook family.
Yeah.
Which, again,
Exactly.
it's non-existent. There's no such thing. And that's where you will have a lot of problem because that's failed expectation, then you're gonna get anxiety, depressed about the situation, and then you find yourself comparing, and then you become miserable. You now lose the joy of what being a husband, being a wife, being a parent is all about.
So, how can you compare the couples now and when you were starting also? Like, what I mean is because of social media.
Yeah. I think basically it's still the same. I mean, they still go through the same problem. I know because now, even during my time, they're marrying late, especially on the urban, working environment here. That's happening. That's a little bit more common, but that's why we need to like kami older generation, we need to mirror to tell them na it's just nothing wrong getting married early as long as I'm not saying na you have to be financially perfect, but a little bit of saving, starting more stability, then I think you're ready. Just don't look for that perfect scenario. Young couples today will go through the same things that our couple generation went through, but just hang on, be in faith, trust the Lord, and enjoy the journey along the way. It's not a perfect one, it's a bumpy road, ganun yan, regardless of what generation you are into. The only difference lang, everything that a lot of people do now, you can find it in the social media. Dati wala.
Yes.
So again, that adds a little bit more pressure for that perfect family. Sabi niya, and people tell me that, kasi they see our pictures, I want to have a family, idol kita, family goals, relationship goals. Sabi ko, that's what you see. You don't see what's in the house. You don't see when we're fighting.
Yeah.
You don't see when we're at each other's throat. It's just like when I was doing a cooking show, I was telling the show, hindi ho ganito kalinis yung table namin pag nagluluto ako. Show lang ito. You have to understand. So, remove yourself from the fantasy world and start living life the way it is.
You need to understand perfectly. You need to process what Ninong just said. Okay.
And enjoy the journey. You will miss out if you look at too much of that. You enjoy the journey. Family, parenting. Sarap eh. Now to think the memories that because now we're in the set that 2 of my older daughters are on their way out. Then my boys are now entering into different from a homeschool environment to now they're enrolled na in high school, in senior high, eventually college, and then they find a way. That's part of the journey, and it's getting and it will get better. Number one, because I think you have a better appreciation of things. And second, you realize that a lot of these things are out of your control anyway. I can't tell Caleb to stop crying when he's hungry. Di ba? Kahit nga pinakain mo di ba?
That's
You cannot dictate to him when he wants to wake up. You just have to accept these things and, enjoy the process, enjoy the beauty that this baby can give you.
Now that you've talked about homeschooling, kasi we recently attended one of the homeschooling seminars
Yeah.
here, and we are considering it. So, how has homeschooling affected your relationship with your kids?
I guess it's really more between my wife and my kids. Because it was to be honest, it's really my wife that was homeschooling. That was a journey for both of them. Well, maybe the kids didn't know because they grew up homeschooling. But for my wife, it's a big challenge, a big change. But now, having said that, it was one of the best decisions that we came up with. So, I guess they're more. Well, my wife naman, even when my other daughters were going to traditional school, my wife will still tutor and do those things. So parang ando naman, but I guess there's really more time. I think conscious effort for my wife to really help my boys grow. One, because number one, they're boys, and parang I want to make sure that they grow up, with the right values and all these things. So, yun. I think close din naman si Mia with the other girls. Iba lang. I just they're different because every child is unique. The challenge lang was really for her to be able to how to go through the homeschool. Of course, the first few months were really, really hard on her. Not so much on the kid, in her, until she realizes the values, and again began to enjoy the process. Now since she's virtually not homeschooling anymore, she's coaching younger moms.
Oh, wow.
Kasi maraming mga issues. Kasi dati, may nakakausap siya kahit paano. So ngayon, she wants to be that person to talk to the others na moms. Yeah.
Starting.
Or she also likes to minister to, young singles na babae and, help them grow with their identity with the Lord. And gano'n na, iba na yung ginagawa namin din ngayon. Yay!
The two girls ba, have they started homeschooling as in when...
No, that girls went through traditional and progressive school. Sabi ko nga, we've experienced traditional, progressive homeschool.
I see.
So, we've done. So, hindi. We didn't know what homeschool was before.
What made you decide?
Number one, it was financial because I was leaving my corporate world. I left the corporate world.
So that's when they
That was the boys.
Ah, okay.
And then the girls were now going into college. So parang ang hirap magsabay-sabay. Then I don't have a stable job. So financial was the number one. And then we were got encouraged by people who've done it ahead.
Okay.
So we tried it. We just experimented. And then after 1 year, sabi nila, we're gonna homeschool the boys. Originally until grade school. High school na, regular. But we've now taken it until before senior high. Senior high, we now enroll them in the traditional school.
Traditional school.
Kasi we want to prepare them from university.
I see. Ang galing ng transition. And
Again, kasi nga, along the way, we enjoyed the journey. We were perfect in there. Pero, people can help you. Even raising a child is, it takes a community to raise a child. So you can't do it on your own.
yes.
So, very important you select the right community, those things to be able to build so that you can raise them up, as God has intended them to be.
I think it was also leading of the Lord when you chose the homeschool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think so. Kasi, plus, parang, anyway, we can always try things, di ba? So, plus, I didn't have any choice. Kasi, financially, it was a difficult time during the process. Kasi I just starting my new career, and then, Mia had to stop her side business.
I see.
So, it was a challenge. Pero, God provides.
What were the difference in raising up your girls and your boys?
What I tell a lot of parents, especially that every child's unique.
Okay.
Every child's special. You cannot treat one the same. We treat all our children fairly, but not equally. There's a difference. We have to, iba yan eh. You will learn that along. It's kind of hard to quantify, but they're different. Ibang quirks, ibang issues. But they're all special. They're all loved. I mean, we love them equally, but they're all treated a little bit different from the others. So, ganun. That's how I see things. They're different. I mean, they all have their own personality. Some are stronger than the others. Some are more obedient at a certain stage. They just change. So, like us, we're all different. We're different from our siblings. We're the same and yet different. You cannot say that this is what I did for Caleb, this one, hindi. Meron mga basics, fundamentals. Pero mga bagay na iba talaga eh. Yeah. Yeah, especially, share the boys, they were homeschooled. So even the way they were taught was different. That's the beauty of homeschool. Kasi iba yung learning yung isa, iba yung learning yung pangalay. So we can say, now, even in the house, very different. There's always different from that. Iba hilig nila, iba. So parents, kaya nga grace-based yan.
So if mag-homeschool ka, kailangan may education background?
No. My wife's fine arts. And she came from the financial services industry and business. So she has no hindi eh. Now later on, kaya nga later on, you enroll in special classes, pag humirap na yung mga gano'n. So, meron naman gano'n.
So it doesn't, the parent doesn't need to...
No.
Okay. That's good. Good for me.
Going back to the old ways, parents teach your children. No, I'm not knocking school. School is good. It's just this is, I think, better for us, depending on your situation. Kasi I saw nice kids who were in school traditionally. And I saw, kids with a lot of behavioral problems homeschooled. So it's how you raise them, it's about the kid. And it's not about how you taught them. Yeah.
What was it like when Miss Mia decided to leave work? And
Siyempre, she struggled kasi for many years she was engaged. She was productive. She was earning her own money until and then it stopped. So she was struggling, and she was also concerned because her income supports my income to raise the family until it becomes a single income. But we just had to remind ourselves that this is God's calling, this is God's will for us, and we just have to obey. And even later on, she would say, I didn't want to until we decided we obedient to the Lord. Alam mo sagot niya, I should have done it earlier. Sabi niya, pwede pala, I should have done it on day one.
I don't think so.
Kasi when you are in obedience to God's calling in your life, di ba? All these things will be given to you. Seek first His kingdom and His righteousness. Everything else will be given to you. So the income, my income today, our single income today, is much greater than our dual income years back. Why? Because we obeyed. We obeyed. And I'm not saying it's the only way. Sa amin yun ang calling namin. For me to be the sole provider, for my wife to homeschool our kids. That was our calling from the Lord. That's not for everybody. That was for us.
Okay, basically what you're saying, Nino, is whatever your calling is, you need to follow it. You need to obey God's.
So, at saka you seek Him eh. And anything that you do, you seek Him. So we seek Him like ito pa gagawin natin. Of course, it's never a perfect formula. But kaya that's where faith comes in. Alright.
So this talk is an affirmation of what this big decision we did this year, and I'm looking forward
Just
to. I'm looking forward
Do not
to
overthink.
after years of doing this, and I'll come back to listening and watching this video.
Don't
Thank you so
overthink.
much.
Okay, enjoy the process. Bye. And make laro this boy. Alright, I'll bring you to Tito Dodo.
Say bye-bye. Bye. Say bye-bye. Bye.